Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Gumbo Talk Thursday, and we're here to open your mind. We are living the good life right here on WBOK 1230 AM. We are opening minds to living differently in the world with love, compassion, tolerance, and understanding. And we do that every day right here at 11 a.m. So make sure you tune in for Money Monday, Relationship Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, Gumbo Talk Thursday, and of course, the Good Life Friday. Make sure you get the app for that. It's a WBOK app. WBOK. You never have to miss a show. We will follow you anywhere that you have your phone. If you are not close to your dial, of course, you can get it online at www.wbok1230am.com. Why? Because it's the good life. And we have been discussing going the extra mile this week with regard to our finances, our community, and I know you're big in the community with going the extra mile with regard to our relationships, keeping it exciting. And I know you're into all that too. And with regard to... I'm serious. And with regard to our wellness, and if you hear that familiar voice, this is my co-host, Cindy Nguyen. I am so excited to be here with you today because all of the fun topics that we have to talk about.
I'm excited. I miss you guys.
You missed me?
I missed you last week.
I didn't know what to do. I was like, Cindy's
Whatever.
not here. What am I going to do?
I miss you guys.
Will the world continue to
back.
spin without you?
Yeah. Oh, that's
Seriously.
so sweet.
But you and Terry had been talking about something, so I like to talk about what y'all like to talk about. It's Gumbo Talk. It's the ladies. We talk about all kind of stuff, but it really is like family issues as well. And y'all were talking about taking a vacation. You remember?
We did?
Yes, Vietnam. Hello.
Oh, yeah.
See, I have to remind her.
I have been under the weather, so my brain...
Oh, you're sick?
Yeah.
Well, then stay on that side of the studio.
Exactly.
I don't want it. I was sick for 3 weeks. Yeah. I don't want it back. Well, we did
talk about doing that. So no wonder you sent me that on Facebook. I was like, what is this girl crazy?
And I sent it to you because we're going to talk about it today. And so I'm going to throw them out there to you because I know, traveling, a lot of people like to do stuff for the summer. So I figured we'd give them, a couple different things or ideas on what to do. Because sometimes, it's tight. It's the end of the school year. We spend all our money on our kids.
Correct.
And it's like, let's do something this summer. We like to talk about creating memories, moments with our family. Because sometimes, we work too much and we don't go the extra mile for ourselves.
Correct.
So here you can literally go the extra mile and it not attack your budget. So I actually got this from refinery29.com, refinery21.com. These are 10 super cheap countries to travel to right now.
Okay, I want to know.
This is good information. So this is 10 super cheap countries to travel to right now. And guess what is number one? I shouldn't say number one. I should say it is number one.
What is it?
Where did you say we should go?
Vietnam?
Yes!
Yeah, it is pretty cost effective over there for vacation.
See, and I'm gonna read, but I'm gonna have you pronounce the places because I don't want to mess it up. Asian destinations like Japan and Singapore can be pricey, but Vietnam is notably budget friendly. The food, which is just as good from a street cart as it is from a sit-down restaurant, is cheap, usually less than $10 a pop. I was like, really?
Yeah.
And they said, and hotels are reasonable with luxury properties averaging around $80 per night.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? They said there's a lot to see. Wait, you
from Ho Chi Minh City.
Yeah.
To Hai Long Bay.
There you go. So you'll want to give yourself plenty of time to explore the country. Don't be afraid to sample the street food, which includes signature dishes like beef, and bún chả. I got that right?
Wait, beef pho and bún chả.
There you go. And make sure to spring for a countryside bicycle tour.
Hai An.
Which runs about $17 and up. So tell us about Vietnam, because I was like, this is a perfect conversation to have.
I haven't been home since I've been here.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's a long story why I can't go home.
It's okay.
Yeah, but I've been here.
We should go.
Yeah, we should. I would love to go back. I would go back with buku of American citizens.
There you go.
That's the only way.
Right, we're going like we're the girl.
Not that I've done anything wrong that I can't go back, but I just need to be surrounded by. I would like the U.S. Embassy to be with me as well.
We can work that out.
Yes. But actually, since you mentioned
you have family members who visited recently.
Yeah, my cousin was here.
Okay.
So she actually works for the Gap in Vietnam.
Really?
And she was over here basically showing their model of clothing to American.
Really?
Yes.
That's amazing.
So and then she was here, and then I took her for a day in touring the city and teaching her. So I've learned so much about my country. But then, so we have a hookup in Vietnam. She said
we got a hookup in Vietnam.
She said that we could stay at her house.
Hey now.
Yeah, and they have a big mansion over there. So
I'm
like our house over here, I have like a 2,000 square feet home, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Vietnam, that is like nothing.
Really?
And I pay 17 years ago, I paid $90,000 for mine.
Mm-hmm.
You could actually get 3 times bigger than my home in Vietnam for about less than $100,000.
Are you serious?
Of U.S. dollars.
Like a $6,000 square?
Yes.
Really? I mean, a 6,000 square foot house. Like, I couldn't even, like, let the words come out of my mouth because... Really?
She has a maid.
Really?
She has a maid.
But you know what? There are a lot of countries who are very service-oriented. Mm-hmm. Like in the Middle East, like Bahrain and, Abu Dhabi and all that, are very service-oriented, where even their fast food restaurants are very service-oriented, where, we take that stuff, we're like, what,
Take it for granted, yeah.
Exactly.
So, we can go back to Vietnam.
Vietnam.
No, I'm serious because Viet is actually planning a community trip, so we're putting together a package.
Well, that's why I was talking about it.
To go back to Vietnam.
We going.
And we want to do like a service day, too. So part of our trip will be a service day where I'd like to bring colleagues from here back to Vietnam and do a literacy day where we go to a very rural orphanage area and read to the kids.
Oh, that's amazing.
I would love to do that, yeah.
So are you going to let us know and keep us up to date with how we can do this?
For sure.
Well, this is from refinery29.com, that traveling can cost a pretty penny, especially if you want to venture outside of the U.S. and explore the far reaches of the world. Not every destination has to break the bank. So we are giving you places you can visit that are in the budget that you really would not think are in the budget. Mm-hmm. So the next place is Romania.
Wow.
I know. Who knew? They said the Eastern European country of Romania still shows traces of its communist past in the architecture, but the nation is full of vibrant, modern cities and small, interesting countryside towns. It's also totally affordable, which means you could book a winter escape to a ski resort in the mountains for far less than the Alps or the Rockies. So we can go to Romania for less than it is to go to Colorado.
$30 a day.
Right. The average lift ticket costs about $30 a day.
And then $100 a night for a hotel.
Yes. Isn't that crazy? Wait, for 3 or 4 star hotels.
Yeah, and then restaurant meals run between $5 and $15.
$5 and $15.
Shucks. Lunch here costs more than $50.
I'm like, all you need is like a passport. We really, we're discussing this about going the extra mile, literally traveling and experiencing the world, because, we stay in our little confines, in our little bubble, thinking that it costs so much to do these things. And it's actually a lot cheaper than sometimes, traveling in our own country. Like, go to New York or like San Francisco. San Francisco is ridiculous.
Exactly. Oh,
Right,
I know that. I've been there.
Right, exactly. It was ridiculous.
Yes.
So, just open your mind to going to new places and, having new experiences.
I only get to travel within state because of work. That's how I travel, because of work. I can't afford to travel in state just for leisure.
Right. It's so expensive. It is so expensive. True. So we want to, open your mind to different places and, look it up. It's amazing. Well, look, the next one is Bolivia. Let's go to South America. The South American nation of Bolivia is a good alternative to places like Argentina and Brazil. That's all you hear. Let's go to Argentina. Let's go to Brazil. What about Bolivia? There are nice mid-range hotels that will cost you a mere $50 to $60 per night. Look at her face. Right. Exactly. I'm trying to help y'all out.
Cheaper than Motel 8.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, seriously. And they say a day worth of meals is less than half of that. For a whole day, you're eating for like $30. Hello, we're opening our minds.
That's my lunch money.
Right. For today, right?
For today.
So we're going the extra mile. Like, go out the country. See, y'all, we just, if you don't know about these things, then you would never, go seek them out. But they exist. So they say start your journey in the hillsides of La Paz, and then, which is peace, and then venture to Lake, I can't pronounce it, Titicaca, which is nestled along the border of Bolivia and Peru. You can visit Incan ruins and hike around the water. It is one of South America's largest lake. They say be sure to try the street food too. It's both delicious and budget friendly. So open your mind. Bolivia, we are discussing places to go that are cheap travel sites. We've been discussing, going the extra mile. So why not go the extra mile in our travel? Stop getting caught up in just, here in the United States. You can actually travel for less than what you think.
You got to plan ahead. You got to plan ahead.
Exactly. Just got to plan ahead. Speaking of our neighbor that we were, trying to create a border with. Anyway, Mexico. The current exchange rate between the U.S. and Mexico is $1 to 18.87 Mexican pesos. Talk about a rate. I'll take that $1 to 18, basically $19. It works in our favor, meaning your money can go a long way south of the border. Some of the more popular destinations, like the Riviera Maya, can be costly due to the chic hotels, but you can seek out more affordable accommodations in like Guadalajara and Mexico City. Once there, you don't need much cash, just enough to lounge on the beach with a few margaritas and some tacos. Doesn't that sound like us?
Yeah.
A few margaritas. We're good. In some sun, we're
exactly.
good. But it really is, cost effective, and you don't think it's really across the border. And then you're experiencing another culture, another lifestyle, something truly
things that you would
different.
not get here.
Things that you wouldn't get here.
Yeah.
And
So by the way, American dollar worth much more in Vietnamese dollar than Mexican dollar.
Really?
Yes, you get actually double the money in Vietnam.
Really?
Yeah, it's really affordable.
Y'all.
It's really affordable.
Well, I think that's part of this too, and all of them don't say that, but the exchange rates are so, like when we're saying the amounts, the exchange rates are so lopsided in our favor.
Correct.
We should really, open our minds to going to these different countries because, we have Terry on the line. She's joining. Terry, we're talking about going the extra mile. We are traveling all over the world, and we could not do it without you.
In a week.
Look, I'm sorry, ladies. I got caught up in a meeting.
Oh, no.
My apologies.
No problem.
Yeah, traveling all over the world. Hey, I'm in with that. Leaving out on Monday.
That's right.
Where are you going? Look at me all up in your business.
Going to Israel.
Terry's going to
Rachel
Israel.
and I are going to Israel.
Yeah.
Without us.
Without.
Cindy.
I can't afford it. It was too last of a minute.
Right, you got
school year.
No,
yeah.
Trust me, I get it. Well, can y'all bring us back something? Look at me. Look
Absolutely.
like the
You
child.
know that.
Just
Without
bring me
a
back
doubt.
something.
Just bring back us something.
Right, I want something blessed.
Oh, of course, you know that.
That's
bring you back
without even saying. I was going to tell you. You're talking to the late Carmelite here, okay?
But yeah,
truly,
it's going to be a fun trip. We're looking forward to it, definitely.
Well, you are already going the extra mile. We are trying to open, people's minds with regard to traveling outside the country, going that extra mile. That sometimes there are places that are outside of the country that are actually more affordable than going to New York or San Francisco.
Exactly. Right.
So,
That's true.
So, Terry, do you know the dollar exchange in Israel for us, or is there any exchange?
Have
you guys looked into that yet?
Now. I can't answer. I have no idea.
I may want to look into that just to make sure.
The dollar exchange rate in Israel.
Yeah.
We'll look that up.
Yeah.
So some of the other ones were Portugal, Panama, and I wanted to talk about this. Rachel's coming in. India. I want to go. They said there are pricey hotels in India, but for the most part, the massive country is incredibly affordable. There are some amazing sites to visit, including, obviously, the Taj Mahal. Who doesn't want to go see that? And ideally, you want several weeks to truly experience all that India has to offer. In the bustling city of Mumbai, there are high-end hotels for only $115 a night. An especially good deal when you realize that your meals will only cost you a few bucks. So they say be sure to spend time in, am I saying this word? Jaipur? Known as the Pink City, where you can explore historic sites and open-air markets.
Here's the deal. My daughters went, they traveled to Europe, different parts.
Really?
They went to, they did that in January. And they went to Paris, they went to Madrid, they went to Africa, and they really enjoyed themselves. The housing and the food was so cheap for them. That was the best part of it all. They said that it was a great experience. They got to see a lot, but, traveling that part, it was just a total experience. But the stays were so cheap because they stayed at Airbnbs there. Really nice, really, really nice, $40 a night.
Wow. Exactly. And so we just want to let people know that.
And we're talking about two-bedroom B&Bs, you guys.
Wow.
2-bedroom B&Bs, yes.
Wow. And I know Lee's giving me the signal, but I want to talk about these last two because I thought they were cool. South Africa and Greece. They say South Africa is a good choice for travelers who want to indulge in luxury hotels but don't want to go bankrupt doing so. They say during the low season, which is between May and September, so y'all, obviously that's coming up, the rates for hotels and safari lodges are particularly inexpensive. That's because it's hot, but we're in New Orleans. We're used to hotness. Right, Rachel?
Right.
Well, I mean, you know, it's
Right.
hot. Exactly.
Hey.
And then Greece. They say the Greece economy remains weak. So, you know what? I mean, I don't want to say take advantage of it, but, you know, go there. Our money is right.
Take advantage
of it, which means the country is especially welcoming to tourists cash. Hotels, food, and attractions are remarkably affordable, and you can book a room in Athens for around $100. There are tons of historic sites to take in, including the famed Parthenon, and the capital city is home to a lot of delicious and affordable Greek food. So, you know, y'all, just open your mind. Think about different travel locations. It's actually a lot more affordable than you think it is. We've been discussing the extra mile, and so we just want to, you know, open your mind to these different things.
Did Terry tell you where we're traveling?
Yes.
Did y'all talk about it
And
already?
I want you to put me in slightly, but I'd love to hear your 2 cents, and I want you to put us in your bags. I mean, but our kids are in school. See what happens when your kids are older?
Yeah.
Okay, Rachel's like,
Yes.
I totally understand.
Yes, we're going on a friends trip. It's awesome.
Friends trip.
It's friends
So is there
Friends
anywhere that you're
trip.
excited to be going?
Oh, I'm
to
so
see?
excited. Oh, well, first of all, I want to see it. I mean, there's nothing I don't want to see, so it's hard to limit it. But we're going to be based out of Tel Aviv because nothing in Israel is more than 2 or 3 hours away.
Right.
So we talking about good opportunities. We're going with 2 other friends, and the 4 of us rented an apartment through HomeAway.
Wow.
And it's beyond inexpensive for the entire time we're there, and then we're going to just like leave from there, so we don't have to pack and unpack and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to take
cool.
tours of, you know, Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. We're going to Haifa. We're going to go float in the Dead Sea. I bought a bathing suit, Terry. Haha. Because I didn't want to be seen in my underwear in the Dead Sea or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
But and my daughter has gone. We're gonna ride camels in the desert. We're gonna try to do a whole lot of things, and our friends are very adventurous. But we're doing this very responsibly. You know, people keep asking us if it's dangerous or if we're nervous or something. But
It's
you know,
not.
we're going to be smart about it. And,
Right. Good.
And have a good time. And we booked the flight. I didn't get a chance to tell Terry this yet, but we booked the flight through New York because my son lives in New York. So he's going to meet us at the airport because we have a many-hour layover and have dinner with us. And apparently he has a new girlfriend, so I got hit with the fact that the girlfriend is coming to meet the mom.
I
So I
see. So
suddenly
he's the girlfriend, huh?
so suddenly I'm thinking, oh
This is
shoot,
terrible.
now I got to wear real clothes. I just can't wear my sweatpants. So Terry, we actually have to look like adults. So,
Oh, that
but
after,
after
I was looking forward to the grunge
this is
look.
a
You know what I
meet
mean?
the
I know.
girlfriend
Yeah,
trip.
at the airport.
Wait, we've been talking about how we're just wearing sweatpants and putting our hair in a ponytail and putting on a baseball
Right.
cap, and that was it. And now the depressing part is until they leave the airport, honey, we got to look like adults.
Oh, we gotta look like adults. Wow.
So
But
she's going to
you know,
meet.
and one of the funny things that Rachel says, Rachel goes, "Oh man, we're gonna ride camels." You ever rode a camel? I'm like, actually, yeah, I did. I rode a camel when I was on a trip that I went to a couple of years ago with my son-in-law's parents, and we were in Los Cabos, and we rode camels. It was the best ever. I had so much fun. They're so slow and gentle. They really are. They
Y'all remember the zoo?
stink like the Dickens, but you gotta
There's
get
no
past that
camel
part.
down the zoo, girl.
They do have camels at the zoo.
No, well, not that you could actually ride on.
They did. They did have camel riding at the zoo. Yes. I remember. I mean, I was little.
That's
was
buku a
years
long
ago.
time ago.
Okay,
All
it is
right.
time to go to break because
There
she's
you
trying
go.
to tell my age on air. We are here on Gumbo Talk. We are talking about going the extra mile. We just discussed, different travel locations that you can go that are more affordable than traveling right here in the United States. So open your mind, travel outside the world, get a passport, and, open your mind. We'll be right back.
Nestled among the lush landscape hills and hardwoods lies a Louisiana hidden treasure which is a part of our sportsman's paradise. The Bluffs on Thompson Creek Golf and Conference Center in St. Francisville, Louisiana. The Bluffs is a master plan community 30 minutes north of Baton Rouge, a short drive from Greater New Orleans, that combines an Arnold Palmer signature golf course rated #1 in Louisiana by Golf.com. The resort amenities include a conference center, wedding destination with chapel, newly renovated lodges, walking trails, and a beach. A must-see. And Sunday, April 2nd is your opportunity. Experience the second annual Jazz Brunch Showcase and Membership Drive, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Bluffs in St. Francisville, Louisiana. There will be 2 brunch seatings at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Call 225-634-6403 to reserve your Jazz Brunch seating. 225-634-6403. Reservations are preferred but not required. Sale homes and lots available for viewing by request. Brokers and realtors welcome. There was no residential flooding. You can find your driving directions and more information online at thebluffs.com. See you Sunday, April 2nd at the Bluffs Second Annual Jazz Brunch Showcase and Membership Drive.
Isogenics is one of the fastest growing companies in the world because their products work. Their solutions and culture has redefined the health and wellness industry. Science backs their products and statistics back their success. But it's the people who make them successful. And I, Eileen Carter, have joined the Isogenics revolution. I've used the products and followed their system, and I'd swear by them. I'm on my journey of transformation and invite you to join me and try Isogenics today. Challenge yourself and change your life. Find information and testimonials at thegoodliferadioshow.isogenics.com. thegoodliferadioshow.isogenics.com. thegoodliferadioshow.isagenics.com. Order yours today. Small businesses play an important role in society, and L&R Security is no different. L&R Security delivers safety and comfort to our neighborhoods, events, apartment communities, conventions, work sites, festivals, and your business. L&R Security can be reached at 504-943-3191 to ensure the safety of your employees, customers, family, friends, and you. L&R Security has made its mark in the security arena for over 37 years and will faithfully continue that tradition. Call today for your personalized consultation to ensure your security needs are met. L&R Security differentiates itself by creating partnerships with our clients and guards. We are now hiring armed and unarmed guard professionals, retired military, sheriffs, and PD to grow with us and impact our community. Be a part of the change with L&R Security. Call us now at 504-943-3191. 504-943-3191.
Remember when?
You know, what sticks out in my mind about my experience at Prep is how Sister Colombiere encouraged me to learn about and participate in all kinds of public speaking events. And I really do believe that this really helped me to have what I have to call a stellar career as a college professor.
Make more memories at this year's Remember When, a music festival on Magazine Street, April 1st, 2017 at St. Catherine Drexel Preparatory. This Remember When moment is brought to you by the Xavier Prep Alumni Association.
The ME Tour is coming to New Orleans Thursday, April 13th at the House of Blues. It's Marsha Ambrosius and Eric Benet coming together for one night only in the Crescent City Live at the House of Blues, located at 225 Decatur Street. For ticket information, pass the line on Foundation Room access. Call the House of Blues box office at 504-310-4999. It's 2 Grammy-nominated multi-platinum singer-songwriters joining forces for the ME Tour. And it's making a special stop in New Orleans Thursday, April 13th at the world-famous House of Blues. Purchase your tickets online at livenation.com or at the House of Blues box office. It's the ME Tour, featuring Marsha Ambrosius and Eric Benet, April 13th at the House of Blues at 225 Decatur Street. See you there.
and I know that you did the same. I guess I'm out of here, I'm moving on.
The Good Life Radio Show is a proud WBOK block programmer. To advertise with the Good Life Radio Show, call 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. Open your mind and grow with the Good Life Radio Show today. That's 504-400-7127.
Hi, this is Mark Morial, and I'm living the good life with Eileen Carter. Tune in to the Good Life Radio Show weekdays from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. so you can live the good life too.
And welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Gumbo Talk Thursday, and we're here to open your mind. We are living the good life right here on WBOK 1230 AM, opening minds to living differently in the world with love, compassion, tolerance, and understanding for ourselves and hopefully everyone around us. I have the ladies with me of Gumbo Talk Thursday. I have all the ladies. I have Rachel to my right. I have Cindy to my left. I have Terry on the line. I'm so excited to have you all here. Our conversation this week has been about going the extra mile. So we just talked about going the extra mile with travel. But I was reading an article about how we have been going the extra mile with work and how we've been more productive, but how it's kind of been, yes, we're more productive, but it's doing a twist on our health. So we really have to, have that balance in life. And actually, Rachel has a perfect story about this. Tell us, Rachel.
It's so funny. During the break, we were talking, Eileen asked me what I had done last night. I said, well, I played the opera till 11 o'clock, and it was a very intense, long opera, so I was really tired. And I had this big inspection report that's due today, and so I ate an entire bag of popcorn, and then I sat down and I knocked it out, but I realized it was 2:30 when I finished it, and I am dragging a little bit today. I'm feeling a little peaked, but yeah, I guess I went the extra mile. She was making fun of me because that was the topic, and she's like, well, don't you think that comes under the topic, Rachel? I'm like, yeah, I'm no, duh, I guess so.
Yeah, and you ate something so healthy, popcorn.
Yeah, it was just.
I'm not saying that we're judging your food options.
Well, there's not much. There weren't many options.
That's my point. Like, it's 11 o'clock. Like, we wanted to, feed you with something that was, energizing. But then you didn't want too much because you were trying to go to sleep.
Sit there and drink wine. I mean, I was stone cold sober doing this.
Right.
So.
But, how many of us do that every day? And we, it's kind of, look at Cindy. Yep, I'm putting you on Front Street next. Cindy Lou, sitting to my right.
I'm not guilty.
Okay, right. You go the extra mile in absolutely everything that you do. All of you ladies do. And I know that, it has to do with, who we are and our character. And, we're going to go the extra mile, but you have to really create that balance or it's going to, become a detriment to, stress, family, whatever it may be. Yeah.
So, I guess running a community center it takes a lot of toll. So you just don't run it for 8 hours a day and then you go home and that's it. Right?
Right.
So you still got to raise money. And so working long hours, I could definitely have a little understanding about it. But having that balance, I'm learning to do that. Mm-hmm. So
with nonprofit life, you have to go the extra mile or
day.
Nothing's going to get done.
Correct. Every day.
You're like, every day.
Every day.
Every day.
So, but last week, I actually ended my 3-year fellowship with the Kellogg Foundation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was last time I was gone. And it was really emotional for me because I have been with these 24 people for 3 years.
Wow.
And so we established a family. Not that we don't see each other, but it's just that there's not that connection there because of the fellowship. But then it was the key. It's like, how do I continue do what I do and balance my life? Because with the fellowship, it taught me to balance, to incorporate love, incorporate stress relief measures, relaxation in. And it's hard, guys. It is really hard.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Right? When you're so busy and you do it and then you just don't want to take a break, or if you want to take a break but you feel guilty that you do take a break, you're not going to get it done.
Right.
And then if you can't get it done, but you know what? It's going to get done eventually. But if you did, it ain't gonna get done.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And
right.
so,
Well,
and if
and
you're
also-
not happy, it's
But
not
also
gonna,
for you, Cindy, I mean, and Eileen too, y'all have young kids who you're raising, and, Terry and I, we're doing all this extra stuff, and we don't have the day-to-day pressure of raising children. And, your kids only go through one time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want y'all to look back and say, I shouldn't have worked so much, or I shouldn't have done this, that, or the other thing, because that has to be number one always.
oh no,
Right.
for sure for me, because I was sharing with Eileen that last night I took Eden. I'm like under the weather if you can't hear it in my voice. But I
Still
promised
go the extra
Eden,
mile.
promised Eden that I'm going to take him to the Pelican game. And we stay almost to the end, like about 15 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
But tonight is Beauty and the Beast with Sean Jr., and then tomorrow night is Alex with the Pelican game.
And to explain, she has triplets, and so she goes the extra mile and makes sure which
Yeah,
we
and I do
should,
that.
but make sure each one of them has one-on-one time.
Yeah, I was sitting next to a lady, and she was really sweet, and she said, well, why didn't you just bring all three of them? I say, well, first of all, the cost of the tickets.
Right.
And I hustle for this ticket.
Right.
It was free.
Right.
And then plus, I want to make sure, because we always have, like, all of us time together, like at the park, but I also want to have individual time. So, like, Eden and I were able to kind of, like, catch up on things. Like,
Right.
what's up, Mom? What's up, E?
Right.
What's going on?
Right.
How's school and everything? And so he was like, he felt like he was the most important person. He felt really good.
He had his own time.
Oh, yeah. And I
Yeah.
loved it. And I try to do that with the boys on a regular, like every 3 quarters. So that way I could check in with them. They could check in with me in their own way. Yeah. But it's tiring. But, like, this morning, Eden's like, Mom, you're tired? I said, no, I'm not tired at all. But I'm exhausted because after I took him, I had to work.
Right.
So
Going the
I
extra
have
mile.
a grant
Right.
that is due tomorrow. But I still got to get things done.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So other things done. And I'm Terry. I know you know about this. You work in the small business arena as well. And small businesses, you don't even have a choice but to go the extra mile because it's your business. You have to go the extra mile, right?
Oh, all the time. I mean, whether it's in my personal business that I own or you have to extend yourself completely, with rental properties and with investment portfolio with Kurt and rental properties with the two of us, you have to go the extra mile. Sometimes it means that, like Rachel, you stay up to 2:30, you eat a bag of popcorn because you couldn't get an opportunity to have dinner.
Right.
That's what it takes. It takes that strong commitment. And with being a person that teaches individuals how to go into business, I always tell them about not only the commitment from you as the owner of the business, it's a commitment from your family members and friends as well, because they've got to understand that extra mile that you have to go through. Sometimes it excludes them because you have to get that done for the sake of the business, but that's what you do, and family members that support you will understand. And it always, in the job that I have right now, I cannot begin to tell you, how I have to go the extra mile. All day, all days, all
day.
time. It doesn't matter. But that's what you do when you're trying to do your very best. And look, you're not going to be successful at what you do if you slack off. You can't. You got to give you 100% all the time, and you always have to go the extra mile. And poor Kurt, love him dearly. He just sits there and waits. and look, he's even learned. He's even. And I wanted to learn Spanish. He's doing that with me so that we could do that together because. Yeah, because that's something that we do together. Because I've got to set a time some time for him. It's a balance. It's a constant balance in life. But for you business owners that's out there, always go the extra mile because that's what's going to make you who you are and what you are in life. Cindy knows that very well. Rachel knows that very well, and Eileen, you know it most of all.
Yes.
That's what it takes.
Lord. But that's the only way that and it's just finding that balance because here's the thing. If you are giving just enough for what it's worth, then you're only going to get what it's worth. You're never going to grow.
Correct.
Right.
You're never going to even be able to ask for a raise or be worth anything more if you're only giving that basic amount.
That's right.
So you have to learn to give the extra mile in whatever it is because then you're valuable. You're marketable if you're giving the extra mile.
We have that all the conversation all the time. I both try to impart exactly what you just said to my students at Loyola, but also to our employees in our real estate business. People, if I was going to have the influence over young people, the one thing I would say is that the middle of the crowd is very large.
Mm-hmm.
The middle 70%.
Yep.
Or 60%, and they are just average. Yep. They're just so average, and no matter how much you try to inspire them and educate them, you know what I mean? And then, of course, there's, like the bottom percent, they're just hopeless, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, and then, that top cream of the crop, that top 10 or 15% that are go-getters and want to learn, you can really stand out in the crowd. It's not that hard to stand out in the crowd. If you do what you say what you do, try to get it better, try to be helpful, be a team player,
Yes.
you know what I mean? And I just wish so many of the young people in our workforce would I wish school, I'm not
Go
really
the
sure
extra
how
mile.
to, I don't know whether it comes from your parents but I know plenty of parents who are, like overachiever types, and their kids are just sort of, floating through. I don't know.
Right, that's true.
I don't know what it is. It's a topic of real concern and constant conversation. I have to say that.
So we want to encourage each and everyone out there to go the extra mile. Have these conversations with your coworkers, your family, your friends, and your children. And speaking of children, that's what we're going to talk about when we come back. I know everyone, touched on kids and how that relationship is important about going extra mile. So I have 50 questions. Obviously, we're not going to go through all 50, but questions to ask your kids instead of asking, how was your day? To really get them to talk, going that extra mile. We'll get into it when we get right back.
Nestled among the lush landscape hills and hardwoods lies a Louisiana hidden treasure which is a part of our sportsman's paradise. The Bluffs on Thompson Creek Golf and Conference Center in St. Francisville, Louisiana. The Bluffs is a master plan community 30 minutes north of Baton Rouge, a short drive from Greater New Orleans, that combines an Arnold Palmer signature golf course rated #1 in Louisiana by Golf.com. The resort amenities include a conference center, wedding destination with chapel, newly renovated lodges, walking trails, and a beach. A must-see. And Sunday, April 2nd is your opportunity. Experience the second annual Jazz Brunch Showcase and Membership Drive, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Bluffs in St. Francisville, Louisiana. There will be 2 brunch seatings at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Call 225-634-6403 to reserve your Jazz Brunch seating. 225-634-6403. Reservations are preferred but not required. Sale homes and lots available for viewing by request. Brokers and realtors welcome. There was no residential flooding. You can find your driving directions and more information online at thebluffs.com. See you Sunday, April 2nd at the Bluffs 2nd Annual Jazz Brunch Showcase and Membership Drive.
Small businesses play an important role in society, and L&R Security is no different. L&R Security delivers safety and comfort to our neighborhoods, events, apartment communities, conventions, work sites, festivals, and your business. L&R Security can be reached at 504-943-3191 to ensure the safety of your employees, customers, family, friends, and you. L&R Security has made its mark in the security arena for over 37 years and will faithfully continue that tradition. Call today for your personalized consultation to ensure your security needs are met. L&R Security differentiates itself by creating partnerships with our clients and guards. We are now hiring armed and unarmed guard professionals, retired military, sheriffs, and PD to grow with us and impact our community. Be a part of the change with L&R Security. Call us now at 504-943-3191. 504-943-3191. Isogenics is one of the fastest growing companies in the world because their products work. Their solutions and culture has redefined the health and wellness industry. Science backs their products and statistics back their success. But it's the people who make them successful. And I, Eileen Carter, have joined the Isogenics revolution. I've used the products and followed their system, and I swear by them. I'm on my journey of transformation and invite you to join me and try Isogenics today. Challenge yourself and change your life. Find information and testimonials at thegoodliferadioshow.isogenics.com. thegoodliferadioshow.isogenics.com. thegoodliferadioshow.isagenics.com. Order yours today.
The ME Tour is coming to New Orleans Thursday, April 13th at the House of Blues. It's Marsha Ambrosius and Eric Benet coming together for one night only in the Crescent City Live at the House of Blues, located at 225 Decatur Street. For ticket information, pass the line on Foundation Room access. Call the House of Blues box office at 504-310-4999. It's 2 Grammy-nominated multi-platinum singer-songwriters joining forces for the ME Tour. And it's making a special stop in New Orleans Thursday, April 13th at the world-famous House of Blues. Purchase your tickets online at livenation.com or at the House of Blues box office. It's the ME Tour, featuring Marsha Ambrosius and Eric Benet, April 13th at the House of Blues at 225 Decatur Street. See you there.
And I know that you did the same. I guess I'm out of here. I'm moving on.
Tune in this Friday, March 31st from 3 to 4 p.m. for Metropolitan Human Services District's panel discussion on addiction featuring Executive and Medical Director Dr. Dunham. If you or anyone you know is battling addiction, tune into the panel discussion on this Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. to learn about the resources available to you and your loved ones.
The Good Life Radio Show is a proud WBOK block programmer. To advertise with the Good Life Radio Show, call 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. Open your mind and grow with the Good Life Radio Show today. That's 504-400-7127.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Gumbo Talk Thursday, and we're here to open your mind. We are living the good life right here on WBOK 1230 AM. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms. That is at TGL Radio Show, at TGL Radio Show. Why? Because it's the good life. I am here with the ladies of Gumbo Talk Thursday. I'm so upset because Cindy had to run out. She left us. She's going, the extra mile, and she's always on time for all of her board meetings. So she ran to go, take care of the world. I have Rachel to my right. I have Terry on the line. We have been discussing going the extra mile this week. So we discussed it this morning with a little bit of travel, traveling outside the United States, because you know what? It really is more affordable than sometimes going to the West Coast. So open your mind to that. Think about the different options. You may even get a better, rate on the dollar. And we also talked about it with regard to working, going the extra mile. And actually we had a very interesting conversation during the break about what do you do with those people who aren't going the extra mile. Cindy and Rachel were talking about it, and, they were like, they try to inspire, their younger generation who works with them. But, sometimes you run into battles. So what do you do? So you give so much. But what do you do when someone's not willing to go the extra mile? So you got to open your mind to that, too. And you can't be at a deficit for your business because the bills will have to be paid, right?
Well, one of the favorite things, I mentor these young business owners, and I've got this great client who I helped get a beautiful lease. Mm-hmm. And so we were talking, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, do you understand that the person that answers your phone reflects your business, that it's the first touch on your business? Yes. And it's the impression people have of your whole business? And she's just looking at me, and I'm like, I said, who is the person? Well, it's my, sister-in-law, one of those kind of things. Mm-hmm. I can't remember what exactly. And so, or I just don't want to say, but whatever. And so I said, well, are you paying her? She said, oh, yeah. I said, and she's not showing up. She's not really, doing the job. Mm-hmm. She said, yeah. And I said, have you tried to train her? Oh, yeah. And I said, is it your money that you're using to pay her? Mm-hmm. And she said, yeah. And I said, really? So you're writing the check, right? And this is your business? Mm-hmm. So you have to make good decisions for your business. It can't be about, so-and-so needs a job. Right. It has to be, you need the right person. So but she's smart. She got it, and she, diplomatically let her go, and she got a professional person in there who's doing great. Mm-hmm. But, sometimes people need to be mentored to say, hey, what are you really doing here? Right. Mm-hmm. But then there are these, young people, we were talking about it during the break, and, you try so hard to bring them along. You try to give them great opportunities. And I'm not talking about people who are underserved or underprivileged. I mean, I'm talking about the whole gamut. I'm talking about really well-educated, smart young people, too. I mean, there seems to be this sort of kind of get by kind of an attitude from a lot of people. That's why I laugh. As like somebody who's a go-getter, they stand out in the crowd. The world's their oyster. I mean, they can do whatever they want. Everyone's going to jump to have them.
Right.
So but I wish I knew how to inspire more young people. I mean, I just don't. Everyone talks about it. All the employers talk about it. Every employer from every kind of business, every walk of life talks about it.
Well, maybe this conversation, we can start a new trend because, I used to have this problem with my son. I'd pick him up from school. How was your day? Good. What would you do? Good.
Nothing.
I said, what did you do? Good is not a response. His just automatic response was good. Like, no matter what I asked him, what'd you eat for lunch? Good. I was like, that's not a response. You're not even paying attention to me. You're just answering good. Right. So I saw that. Right, seriously. No, like, I'm not kidding. Even my parents would call, well, would you, whatever, good. I'm like, that's not an answer to every question. You have to, you're not even, connected. So, we started thinking
but it doesn't get you in any trouble, though, either.
Right. True. So we started thinking about ways to engage them, and maybe it's doing simple things like this when they're younger, and maybe it'll I don't know. Well, let's just try this. So these were some questions that they were coming up with to ask your kids, and I think we're putting this in, a smaller scale with regard to our, younger children, but we can take this example and move it to different areas of life. Right. So I'm going to give 10 questions at a time because it's 50 questions. We're not going to read them all, but it'll just give you an idea, and we'll kind of go through them, and you all can give me your thoughts on that. So the first few questions were, what made you smile today? Can you tell me an example of kindness that you showed or that you saw? Was there an example of unkindness? And if so, how did you respond to that? Was somebody mean to somebody, and did you help? Does everyone have a friend at recess? Is there anyone that, is by themselves? What was the book about that you read with your teacher today? What is the word of the week? Number 7, did anyone do anything silly, or did you laugh today? What made you laugh at school? Or the opposite of that, did anyone cry? Was anyone sad today, and why? What did you do that was creative? What did you draw in art today? What did you do that was out of the box? 9, that was a repeat. And 10, what was the most popular game at recess? What'd you play at recess? So, it's just, questions that are open-ended questions and not just a good, bad, yes, no. Having those conversation starters where they are required to talk to you. But these are good. But if you think about this is kind of prepping them for interviews. Because interviews are open-ended questions, and you have to be able to have a conversation with people.
You can use most of those questions on adults.
Right, exactly. That's the point. Exactly. But, we do that, and even but I think we're trained to do this, Terry. When somebody asks you how you're doing, you're like, fine. Now, of course, you don't want to tell everybody all your business, but most of us aren't fine. You could have been having a great day. You'd be like, I'm fine. Or you could be having an awful day or stress or whatever. You'd be like, I'm fine. But, where has the communication gone to?
But I want to just address that one particular thing, okay? So I think society, to be a polite person, we're trained to say, how are you? Say, oh, fine, right? And your whole world may be falling apart, right? Or at the very least, the worst you might say is, so it could be better, but it's okay. Thanks for asking, and then you just kind of move right on. So there is a lot of social training, to not actually say something specifically in the workplace, right. And then there's the other extreme where you say you're afraid to say to somebody, how are you, because you know what you're going to get.
People who tell all of the business. You're like, I don't have time for this hour conversation.
That's too much information, right? Like the kids say, right? Yeah. So, but there is some training, from social demeanor that prevents people from saying things.
Exactly. Terry, have you gone through things like this?
Oh, absolutely. You bet.
She's laughing. Yeah. She's like,
you bet.
Absolutely.
Some of the times, let me go here. The student workers that I get at during the summertime, I love them. I get them from Job 1. And it's like, really? And I am to train them how to be professional in the workforce, okay? And, you're lucky sometimes if you get fined. They just don't answer. You know what I mean?
Really?
Or they nod their head, or they say something that I don't understand, and for sure is not an answer. Okay?
A show is not an answer. Right.
Not an answer.
Exactly.
So, I go through these challenges all the time. And sometimes I almost dread the summer because we do this as an in-kind to our youth to sort of infuse them into the workforce. Mm-hmm. It is a challenge above challenge. I did not let my girls begin to do anything like that. Not.
But it's right. Okay. But it's starting to have these conversations when they're young and requiring them to talk to you.
Exactly. And you bring it into the fold so that when they're older and they're ready to go into the work world, they know what they want to do in life. They know how to act accordingly in the environment that they have to work in. They know how to treat people respectfully. It just goes on and on and on. But I get these other kids, and, I try to train them up as much as I can, and hopefully the next year when they come back, I try to get those same kids to continue the growth process of, figure out what you'd like to do, figure out how you can be professional, what is it you want, blah, blah, blah. But it's difficult. These kids just don't have that instilled in their lives growing up at all.
Well, but you're talking about those kids, but I'm talking about, Ivy League college kids. Right. I mean, I'm not talking about kids, like who maybe they didn't come up understanding. I'm talking about people who certainly know better, and they've operated in the world where they see it, and they're still doing that stuff.
Right.
And
so
it might be generational. Grow up.
But I think it just might be, I don't know.
Is it today's society?
By no means am I perfect, so I'm not trying to judge anybody. But I've heard this from a lot of business owners.
Right.
A lot of business owners and a lot of. Actually, I was having a conversation. I'm not going to name the company, but a very large national corporation, and they were saying they have a high turnover, and they have like $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 jobs that are good family jobs, and that they're having problems with this being one of the things, and their employees need to be able to have conversation with their clients, and it's just not happening. So, if we start having these conversations when they're little, maybe it can transfer to a more productive, working relationship. I'm going to give you some more.
Are we going to blame this all on cell phones and texting?
Possibly, because, that YW, like you're welcome and all this. I'm like, wait. And even people forget punctuation. I can't. I'm a grammar.
Well, we know that's your little.
I am. Do they teach that in school?
Look, I just want to say one thing.
I'm not even sure if they teach that in school anymore.
Look, I want to just say one thing, though, on a happy note, because, we sound like Debbie Downers over here. You know what I mean? Like the world's falling apart.
I was trying to give you all some fun questions to ask.
Well, I do want to say the best time and the time I found everything out about anything and everything my kids were doing or not doing or getting in trouble doing or doing well at doing was driving them to school in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right.
Just sitting in that car, not saying anything. I learned more than I probably wanted to know.
Yeah.
I really did. And so, and not everyone has the luxury of driving their kids to school. But if you can find some quiet time with no agenda, I find if you try to talk to the kids and ask them, hey, what's going on? You know, so I feel a little differently than you do about these questions.
Yeah.
I feel like when you sort of start pumping them, they may be good questions and stuff, but, I think for most kids, they're going to just think, oh, my God, when is this torture going to be over?
But some of them, just like open, like starter questions. Because one of them is like, what did you feel proud about? Some of them are kind of like really, touching questions, like, even like for some of the smaller kids, I think this is funny. What was the hardest rule to follow today? That was funny. Like probably if it were me, it'd be like not talking.
You think?
Maybe. I had an issue with talking, but stuff like that. Like, what made you feel happy? What made you feel loved? Did you learn anything new today that you didn't understand yesterday?
Okay, but my point is that if you have a kid that doesn't really want to talk, is a grunter, you know what I mean? And boys especially, they grunt from about the age of 12 to 20, and then they talk to you again.
My child's 13.
I know. That's why I didn't want to tell you that.
Right.
But you're right in the curve
I'm
there.
In the beginning.
But really, if you're just quiet and with your children, like if Cindy goes to a basketball game with one of her kids, just in doing an activity without saying anything, if you're just alone, if you wait long enough, they tell you everything.
They'll just start talking.
Right.
They tell you everything.
So sometimes it's just being present.
Yeah. That's my thing.
Yes.
That's my.
Nothing. That's amazing.
So that's.
Right. Well, you have to be a part of their lives to understand who they are. You know what I mean? And not only do you have to understand who they are, you have to understand who their friends are. That makes the picture complete. But, you know, nowadays,
that's a tough
even
one.
with your own, I mean, my girls are grown, but, you know, even now, you know, they still come to me for stuff. I want to know what's going on in your life. You know what I mean? And my younger one called the other day because she's looking at going back to school. And
Yay.
she goes, yay. I know, right? She
Hallelujah.
goes, you know, yeah, Mom, I think
Thank
I'm going
you,
to go back to
Jesus.
school next year, work on my master's. And then she goes, and I found a great school in London. I'm like, Caitlin, let's reel this in a little bit.
She's like London. Hey
London,
now.
really?
Nothing like getting your
School
kid back on the
but
payroll.
Mom,
Right.
she goes, and Mom, it's not as expensive as Skidmore was.
Hey, look,
Yeah,
we're
right.
talking about going the extra mile. She's taking it literally. She wants to go the extra
Going
mile.
the extra mile. I'm like, okay, we need to talk about this when you come home to visit.
You know
next
what?
month, honey.
She's all talk. Terry's all talk. She's such a soft
She's
touch.
gonna do
you know,
it.
the kid's going to be there. She's been saying, originally want to go to London, you know,
Right.
in April.
Right.
Forget
Wait,
it.
the Saints are
Just
about
don't-
to play in London. I mean, you know.
Listeners, do not pay any attention to this woman. Don't even buy into what she's doing here.
In a couple months, we'll be talking about how we're going to
Just,
London.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
No way. No.
Exactly.
That's a no-go.
Exactly.
Can't
This was
go.
Gumbo Talk Thursday. Thank you so much for tuning in. I had the ladies. I had Rachel, Terry, and Cindy. Thank you, ladies, for being here. We always are a joy. At least I think we're a joy. And we do it with love, compassion, tolerance, and understanding. So make sure you tune in to The Good Life each and every day at 11 a.m. We're out.